This was me right before I cut my hair. But before I show you how it turned out, let me take you back in time to understand why I cut my long curly locks that took me 4 years to grow. Back in 2016, I grew tired of the standard length haircut that I had rocked for quite a few years, so I decided to care more about my style and get a modern haircut by shortening the sides and keeping some length on top. Pretty on point right now. I really liked this look, but I still wanted more. Later that year, I said fuck it and went full blown undercut. Then for the next 2 years, I grew it out to the point where I could do a top knot, a style I loved at the time, but in retrospect is one of the worst styles currently in existence.
That shit is fucking trash, dog.
Though I really liked the look in the beginning, I really came to dislike the constant upkeep and risk of cutting the main portion of my hair. And unfortunately, with each cut, the shape progressively became more and more narrow, eventually becoming this triangular shape in the front, a look I didn't like whatsoever. Since I knew the end of this hairstyle was near, I absolutely annihilated my hair by dyeing it as blonde as I could for 2018 rave season, so I could achieve my childhood dream of having blonde hair. Though I'll likely never have blonde hair again because it's incredibly overrated, it was fun to try it out once. But by the time fall came around, it was time for a reset. No, not that one. A hair reset. Eager to return to my natural hair color again and start fresh, I shaved my head. Wow, new me. After many surreal moments of looking at my newly shaved head, I started the search for my next hairstyle. Despite the popularity of undercuts and top knots at the time, I realized that they'd soon go out of style and the new meta for longer hair would be to have a full head of hair. In the end, I almost opted for a curly hair fade like this, but I decided to say fuck it, play the long game, and grow it out right for 4 major reasons. Number 1, I really liked the look of long hair and I thought it could look really good with sides grown out fully as well. Number 2, I wanted a full-blown man bun this time because I knew how good it could look on me. Number 3, because I was a raver at the time, I wanted long hair to headbang with. And number 4, the future is uncertain and I wasn't sure if I'd ever get a chance to grow it out like this again due to my L hairline and potential hair loss down the line given genetics. Though I will be trying to correct this. Before I began, I found my inspiration for the look I was shooting for and just hoped like hell that my facial hair would fill out over the next few years. Foreshadowing. With my hair goal set, I became absolutely obsessed with having a bun by summer 2020, so I progressively grew it out longer and longer, and by summer 2020, I could finally rock the full, long anticipated man bun. 6 months later in late 2020, I achieved my desired hair length, though it looked different than I originally expected because I had a ton more volume, curls, and frizz. Instead of stopping there though, I just kept going. By summer 2021, my facial hair had thankfully filled out more, so I grew out a beard and kept it permanent. Then over the next year and a half, my hair grew more and more, and when it was all said and done, I grew it out to the longest it's ever been. Oh shit. I have 14 inches for my longest strand, up 4 inches from my previous style, but with a full head of hair. But while the journey of growing out my hair was genuinely really fun, once I hit a certain length, the enjoyment started to fade, and by the end of 2022, I became dissatisfied. I'm so over this shit, bro. Though long hair might seem like fun from the outside, it's an absolute grind to keep up with, especially if your hair is thick, coarse, and frizzy like mine. I originally hoped that it would look as good as it does when it's wet, but instead, it looks like this when it's dry. When I was growing it, I wanted so badly to hit my desired length that I took a lot of shortcuts along the way, most notably only getting a trim every 6 months, which among other things severely damaged it in the process. I also had no idea how much work would be required, not only for repairing my L's, but also just maintaining healthy, long curly hair. This shit ain't simple. The reality was, anytime I'd get close to being committed to properly taking care of my hair, I always remembered that I had more important things to work on, so I never gave my hair the necessary time, energy, or care that it required. While I applaud women on how much work they have to put in to keep their hair as nice as they do, especially black women because our hair is very similar, this is no longer a priority for me. And I'll explain the controversial why momentarily, but all in all, long hair is a lifestyle, one that I'm not committed to and never have been. I've battled back and forth recently with whether I should keep it or not, with mixed opinions internally and externally. But I always dismissed them, persevered, and kept the hair anyways because the grass is always greener on the other side. I really thought that I'd keep it for many more years to enjoy the fruits of my labor, but over the past few months, especially as I've become more and more red-pilled, I've done a complete 180 and I've totally lost interest in keeping my hair. Then around summer 2022, I had some friends plant the seed in my mind of getting a buzz cut, and while I was reluctant at first, I sat with it a bit more and became increasingly more intrigued. I made sure I wasn't rushing the decision, and instead of the energy fading, it actually increased to the point where the pull was undeniable. I needed to cut my hair. As you can probably see, I was very identified and attached to my hair. When it's up like this, it's probably my best look to date, and I felt more attractive with longer hair than I did with shorter. If I'm being completely honest, I was scared of going backwards in physical attractiveness. In the chance that I look bad with a buzz cut or shorter hair, I can't just quickly reverse it. That's 4 years of growth permanently gone. But after hearing why Andrew Tate intentionally shaves his head bald, my perspective completely changed.
When you're a full-grown man, nobody cares what your hair looks like. They care if you're big and strong and rich and successful and interesting and charming and smart. Any man who really thinks they need hair to be attractive to females or to matter in the real world has no substance. So you don't need hair.
This totally rocked my world and taught me that if your value as a man is defined by the hair on your head, you've failed miserably in life. As a man, it's not about your looks primarily, but rather what you build in this world, how you build yourself up, and fulfilling your other masculine duties, and your hair is not one of those things. As I embodied this truth, I looked around at the people I most listen to right now, and they all live by this thesis, which is why they're even worth listening to begin with. I really detached from my hair after that and accepted the fact that though my beard might help me a little bit, I might look worse without hair. And that's okay. Because while a woman's primary value in the dating market is her beauty, men are measured by very, very different things.
Misogyny.
In addition to all that, I've just developed a crazy negative association to my hair. Even though it was a funny meme for a while how I looked like a liberal, but I thought like a conservative and a libertarian, I am genuinely exhausted of looking like some of the people I dislike most on this planet. So for the past few months, this hair on my head has felt like it's part of a previous self rather than my current self, a part of my past rather than my present or future. And if I hadn't needed my hair for filming some content, I would have shaved my head months ago because I've really grown to dislike the look and detest the experience. I'm over how my hair looks when it's down from both the side and behind. I'm over rave culture, L leftist, and couldn't give two fucks about keeping it around for headbanging, which is a thing of my past. I'm over trying to run my hands through my hair, only for my fingers to get slowed down or caught in all the unnecessary tangling, joint ringlets, and knots. Oh, Jesus. I can't with this shit, bro. I'm over the ridiculous amount of time it takes to detangle knots, the pain in my scalp that follows, and the damage it feels like I'm doing to my hair, only for the knots to return like literally the next day.
This suit is black. I'm not
Not.
I'm over the frizz on my roots when my hair is up, but most importantly, the frizz on my roots when my hair is down. I'm over the unnecessarily long shampoo and conditioning sessions and the hair all over the place that follows. I'm over how long it takes for my hair to dry and how strategically I had to time showers based on shooting or sleep. I'm over the non-stop dandruff that plagues my scalp, which is made even worse with how dark my hair is, and wait till you see how bad it gets in the follow-up video on my second channel. I'm over how permanently messed up my hair looks for the rest of the day after I take my hair down, and looking like this motherfucker from Halloween Town. Luke. I'm over caring on a daily basis how my hair looks and trying to keep it a certain way. I'm over the generally feminine look and the feminine movements that come with having long hair like this. But most importantly, above all, I am so done with looking like the feminine, liberal soy boys. Now, while I just went in on my hair, I still will miss certain aspects of the style. I'll miss being able to put my hair up in either a man bun or a ponytail, as it was arguably my best look to date, and if I ever decide to have hair again, I'll miss being able to easily counteract bedhead with such a simple method. I'll miss being able to do interesting things like extending it out in all directions, putting my hair over my cat's head, and putting my hair in my mouth. I'll miss how fascinating it looked when I moved my hair from side to side, how hilarious it looked when I ran, and how wild it looked when I transformed my hair into a massive fro. I'll miss being in a select group of people who persevere long enough to grow out their hair, as there are exceptions to the rule of masculine men who keep their hair long for religious, cultural, or stylistic reasons. But most importantly, even though I did grow out my hair as long as I did, I will miss the fact that I had the potential to do this right, but didn't. It's a shame that it never lived up to its full potential, but it's time to say goodbye because I crave the simplicity of having no hair and an almost non-existent hair routine. I crave not giving a second thought to how my hair looks on a day-to-day basis. I crave showering whenever I want without a worry in the world of how my hair will be affected due to instantaneous dry times. I crave the feeling of running my hands over a freshly buzzed head. I crave the idea of easily exfoliating my scalp, tackling my dandruff problem, and putting lotion on my head in a simple and easy manner. I crave the idea of repairing my hairline without new hairs popping up that throw off the existing shape and style. And last but not least, I crave a fresh start with a new look that matches my mindset. I'm evolving, my life is evolving, and my hairstyle needs to catch up. It's time for a change, so enough is enough. Let's cut it all off. Holy shit. Look at this. Oh my god. So with that being said, I'll leave the long hair for women and feminine boys because it's time to enter a new era. Then shortly after that, I became obsessed with shaving my head shorter and shorter until I ultimately shaved my head fully bald, which I've happily kept ever since. Bro, there is so much dead skin, oh my god. Hair is for women.